Hi everyone, this is Aki with another quick video on Pages. We're going to go over how to change the background color in Pages if you have it set it up as a word processing or page layout document. So there are two different ways to set up your document in Pages. One is a standard word processing, you're just typing in text as in a like kind of Word or another word processing program and so on. And then you can also set it up as a page layout, which is basically you create these text boxes and you lay sections of your document, kind of like if you want to create brochures or flyers. It's comparable to InDesign, but less advanced maybe, but for basic creations it's sufficient. And the way to check how your document is set up, if you go to Pages, Document at the top, and scroll down to this document body. If that's checked, that means a word processing document. If it's not checked, like this one, I have a setup as page layout. And let me show you the other one. If I go to my document, it's checked. And you can convert from word processing to page layout, but be careful because if you have a word processing, if I uncheck it and click convert, I may lose a lot of things. So you want to be aware of that. Now, if you are in word processing document, the way it's set up in Pages, you actually are working with sections. So you see my thumbnails on the left. So every time I click a section, it's just highlighting those pages that are part of that section. And so I actually like changing my background of sections while I'm working in it. So kind of to tell what's going on, like where is the separation between one section and the other section. The way to add a section, if you select somewhere you want to add a section, you put your cursor, go to insert, and then section break, and basically it breaks the section. So that's how you do it. So let's say I'm going to add a color to this first section so I can separate it from the other one. So I'm going to highlight it and then go to document and then section, because these are sections in the word processing. And for background, I'm going to select color fill. And I like this color fill and this is fine. And I'm going to maybe do for the other sections. Actually, if you want to delete a page, it deletes a section. So let's say I'm going to delete this page, it's fine, but be careful because if I select and I think I'm just deleting a page, I might be deleting a whole section. So be aware of it. And let's change this color to maybe something like this and maybe change the opacity a bit so it's not so drastic. And maybe let's make another color here. I'm going to add a color fill of maybe something yellowish like this. And so then I can quickly tell where are my sections by just the background color. You can also insert an image for your section or your page. So I have a page here that's a section by itself, and I'm going to change it to an image. Instead of going to document section fill color, I can do color gradient. Okay, that's very very harsh, but maybe something less harsh, like let's change this to a little bit like something like that. And you can also do obviously advanced gradient fill, and you can control it, how it's positioned, the angle, and so on. I mean, this is way too fancy to be doing for a flyer. So I'll show you for the page layout that makes sense. Okay, so this is image fill. Image fill, the default is like stone. I don't know who wants that, but you can choose your own image, and I'm going to choose something that I have set up. So I have a folder here with some photos. I will select this, and you can see that actually it's created this as my background. Now, this could be an option, for example, if you want to ever insert like a large image and have it nicely laid out to just from left to right all the way. Now, if I select a section, let's say this section, and if I try to do image fill, and look what happens, that's just way overwhelming, right? So it might be just an option for if like an empty page, you want to add something, maybe you're doing a book or something. So initially when you put this image as your background, it just goes to scale to fill, but you have other option. You can say original size, and you can scale your image even to make it smaller. Like maybe you have a logo or something that you want to put on your page. But for our purposes, I'm just going to say no fill, or maybe just a color fill, and just do that. Something very light and so on. So just so for the time that I'm working with the documents, I have that. So that's the way to add the color fill. If you want to change it, you just go back to the section and say no fill. But you can see in my left side, now I can tell quickly where the sections are. So that's an easy way to tell. Now, if you are in page layout, so I have 3 sections here. For page layout, you actually, I'm calling them section, but these are pretty much pages. Like even if there is no way to add section. You can add pages. You can add a blank page in between, but each of them is treated separately, so I can move things around and so on. And when I change a color, let's say I'm going to change the color of this page, I select the page on the left and go to format. And you see, I don't select the section. It's actually just format for the page and go say color fill, and it changes the color of the page. And each of the pages I can change to different color, let's say, like this. And the first one, color fill. Sometimes if it doesn't change, maybe your cursor is somewhere else. So you want to make sure your cursor is on that page, even though you're selecting on the left. Well, actually, let's just test it out. Let's say if I'm selecting this page, let me leave my cursor here and then select this page. Let's see what happens. Color fill. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, so you don't have to have a cursor. As long as you're selecting the page on the left, then you should be able to change the background. And so each page is treated separately, so you would have to actually select individually. I try to see if you can just select all of them and try to change color fill all at once, but it doesn't. It just selects the last one or the first one or what have you. So thanks so much for watching.